Coming up, stories we're connecting you with tonight. You've heard of community-supported agriculture, but what about community-supported music?
What we're providing is, a different slice, a wider slice of what jazz is.
A new Westfield State program harnesses the power of music to heal.
I would work with clients who have PTSD to help them learn how to better manage flashbacks and develop coping skills to help them function in a community without being so vulnerable.
And conjure up some family-friendly fall fun getting lost in the stalks at Hicks Family Farm.
Of course, the fun goes beyond just the corn maze. There's a giant game of checkers available to renew a sibling rivalry. Mini golf, where a dad can teach his daughter the finer points of putting, or not.
We'll bring you those stories and more as we explore the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. Up next on Connecting Point.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for Connecting Point. I'm Saidali's Bauer. With plenty of local farms in the area, most of us are familiar with farm shares, where in exchange for paying a local farmer up front, they provide you with a share of their harvest each week. For the past decade, that same community support model has also helped sustain local music. Pioneer Valley Jazz Shares uses the same money upfront, product later concept to maintain a vibrant jazz music scene here in Western Mass. Producer Dave Frazier brings us this story.
I have always responded to music and sound in a more profound way than other senses, I would say, and grew up playing baritone horn in junior high school and high school, and always had a deep relationship to music.
In an effort to bring more jazz to the region, Glenn Siegel, along with his wife Priscilla Page, started Jazz Shares in 2012. It's based on the community-sustained agriculture, CSA, or farm share model, where stakeholders ensure the success of the farm by prepaying for food. Pioneer Valley Jazz Share members purchase shares to provide the capital needed to produce concerts at various venues throughout the valley.
The idea was to produce 10 concerts in a season, basically one a month. But because the number of outstanding musicians far outstrips that, and we have adopted a culture of yes as far as we can take it, this year we're doing 16 concerts.
It's a grassroots, all-volunteer organization that Siegel and his wife first introduced to some friends at a backyard party.
Why don't we invite some friends over and pitch the idea and see if we could get 100 people to buy in at $125 each, and then we could produce a season of concerts.
That was 10 years ago, and Jazz Shares is still going strong, producing at least 10 and sometimes more concerts each year in Hampden, Hampshire, and Franklin counties.
What you're likely to hear at a Jazz Shares concert can vary wildly, from the most free, atonal, arrhythmic way of organizing music to in the pocket jazz, Orrin Evans Trio, who's coming up in a few weeks. That'll be in the tradition and, recognizable. So what we're providing is, a different slice, a wider slice of what jazz is.
With COVID restrictions still in place, admission to Jazz Shares concerts comes with proof of vaccination at the door and the wearing of masks. But for this season, Siegel and Page have many concerts scheduled through February, including 4 this month.
They're always a little bit different because we work in so many different venues. That's another thing. We sort of travel through the valley. So, we were at the Shea Theater. We'll be in Goshen at the Institute of Musical Arts. We'll be here in Northampton at 33 Holly Street. We'll be down at the Community Music School. So each venue is a little different, so the feeling is a little bit different.
Our cameras were able to catch Steph Richards and Supersense at the Institute for the Musical Arts in Goshen. Richards is known for her experiments in jazz and her collaborations with pioneer artists including Henry Threadgill, Laurie Anderson, and David Byrne. Jason Robinson, harmonic constituent, performed at the Northampton Community Arts Trust recently. Robinson is a saxophonist and composer and teaches music at Amherst College.
It is truly satisfying. It's my calling, I would say. You know, when we're pulling in the driveway, we'll just say, another one in the books. We've done about 100 Jazz Share shows, and, you know, in my career in the Valley, I've produced, you know, over 300 shows. And so we keep adding more to the book, and it is truly gratifying.
This past fall semester, a new bachelor's degree program launched at Westfield State University that taps into the power of music to aid in healing. Westfield State is the first public university in Massachusetts and just the second public institution in New England that offers music therapy as a college major. I spoke with Timothy Honig, assistant professor and director of the Bachelor's of Music and Music Therapy degree program at Westfield State University, to hear more about why the program began and the benefits that music therapy has to offer.
Music therapy is using what we know about the power of music to help people affect real, lasting change in their lives. We draw together knowledge from a few different professions. And in relationship with a professional music therapist, we can tailor usually interactive music experiences that help tap into what motivates and drives clients and also leads towards lasting change in physical needs or emotional needs or social areas.
Tim, Westfield State University is the first public institution in Massachusetts and only the second in New England to offer a degree in music therapy. Why did the university want to add this degree to its program?
Westfield State University has a robust music department with a wide range of offerings. And Westfield also has a lot of energy around the arts and health sciences and other departments. And they found this hole where music therapy would fit quite well. It aligns really well with how the university envisions itself connecting with the community and serving real needs in the community. And we're finding that the network of expertise that our faculty have works so well for helping to educate and train new music therapists to serve our community here in Western Massachusetts.
So this program is designed to be 4 years long, including an internship, and is individualized to meet the students' specific skills and background. Tell me more about what the program looks like and the process to pursue this degree at Westfield State.
So the degree is a Bachelor of Music, and that speaks to how it really is a music-focused degree. So we help students learn a high level of artistry, but also to become really versatile performing musicians, learning guitar, learning singing, learning percussion, learning digital music production technologies. We also weave in learning from courses in psychology and in health sciences and in cultural studies that let students really know the breadth of all these different clinical scenarios that they might be working on. And so students will have 4 years of coursework. Beginning in their second year already, they start individual mentorship relationships with actual professional music therapists out in the field, providing music therapy to real clients. Then after that 4 years of coursework, we'll help them set them up with an internship at a facility for usually about 6 months. And that's the case for almost every music therapy degree program in the country.
Upon completion of this program, what would a career in music therapy look like, more or less?
One of the things about music therapy that I find so exciting is that there's a place for everyone and there's a place for every interest. So a career in music therapy might look like getting a job in an area facility, an area institution like Bay State Hospital in Springfield, which employs a couple of music therapists. It could be working in a school, working with, let's say, students who have learning disabilities or are autistic or have some learning difference or non-neurotypicality where they can benefit from music. A career might also look like a private practice where the music therapist is actually a business owner. About a quarter of music therapists in the country own their own business, where they serve clients at lots of different institutions and even in their homes to provide, well, a really well-rounded practice. So any music therapist will find their niche where they can tap into their passion and their strengths in music.
Now, Tim, you are a board certified music therapist. You've worked in inpatient and outpatient psychiatry, cancer care, general medical, and more. What are the benefits of music therapy? And have you seen and witnessed a growing demand for this profession in recent times?
Nationwide, there are more music therapy positions than there are music therapists to fill them, which is a really interesting position to be in as a music therapist, right? But music therapy is underdeveloped in New England, and we're really looking forward. Something that's inspiring to me is training a workforce that's going to allow music therapy to grow so that we can provide these therapeutic benefits to our clients in the community. Some kinds of benefits that I've seen and that's grounded in research are areas like helping clients more fully manage chronic pain. In my work in psychiatric care, I would work with clients who have PTSD to help them learn how to better manage flashbacks and develop coping skills to help them function in a community without being so vulnerable to their trauma. But music is always touching us at many different levels. So if we're in a school working on helping a student learn better, it's also helping them socially. It's also helping them emotionally. And I think that's one of the things that we as music therapists can provide that's unique, that's working with people at all levels of their human experience.
Now, as somebody who has presented your work regionally, nationally, and even internationally, what does it mean to you to now have this opportunity to be directing this new degree locally here at Westfield State University?
It is so inspiring to me to work with students who have such strong connections to our community here, who want to be able to use their passion for music to give back to the people that have touched their lives. So being in this position to help cultivate really stellar music therapists is so inspiring to me, not just for them, but thinking about all of the consumers in our area that they can touch and whose lives that they can improve.
Autumn has finally arrived in Western New England, bringing with it changing leaves, chilly nights, and of course, plenty of fall fun like apple picking, pumpkin carving, and corn mazes. Through the months of September and October, locals and travelers alike can make a pit stop at Hicks Family Farm, located along the scenic Mohawk Trail. The farm boasts an impressive corn maze that hosts a family-friendly scavenger hunt by day and a frighteningly good haunted maze by night. Now in its 11th year, the maze has grown more popular and gets bigger each year to accommodate the growing crowds that show up looking to get lost in the stalks. Connecting Point's Brian Sullivan traveled to Franklin County to bring us this next story.
From this vantage point, it looks just like a field of corn. From this one as well. From this vantage point, it appears there's a place inside the cornfield to gain an even better vantage point. From here, we can see people walking in and out of the cornfields, and families actually buying tickets to do the same. Maybe this isn't just some run-of-the-mill side-of-the-road corn maze.
We've been doing this at the Hicks Family Farm for, I think, since our daughter was 1 year old, so maybe like last 7 years. And so it's a family tradition. Every October we come here.
Every Saturday and Sunday from the first weekend in September to the last day of October, visitors travel from near and far to the town of Charlemont, Massachusetts to be a part of this fall festival. The corn maze that began as a means of supplementing income has now turned into an annual tradition.
11 years ago, my family went out of the dairy business, and we wanted to continue to keep the farm going. So we did go into the beef business. We do have 35 head of cattle, but we needed somehow to, support the farm. So we came up with the idea of starting up a corn maze.
Of course, the fun goes beyond just the corn maze. There's a giant game of checkers available to renew a sibling rivalry. Mini golf, where a dad can teach his daughter the finer points of putting. Or not. They've got baby goats whose cute factor breaks the scale, and for many of the local kids, This place is their rite of passage.
Yeah, I've been doing it since I was really young, so probably like 5 years. And originally I just did the one during the day because I didn't really want to get scared because I was so young. But now I work in the night one and I scare people, and it's pretty good.
Yes, it's true that when the sun goes down, these winding paths where the kids and adults get to have fun doing a scavenger hunt during the day turn into one of the spookier haunted corn mazes in the Commonwealth. But the haunting doesn't start until early October, and since the maze changes shape every year, none of this happens without a plan.
Around March or April, we'll get together on a rainy day and think of, some different paths, different directions where we want to have the people go. And, we kind of map it out on a piece of paper. And come, June, we plant the corn and come out and process the paths.
And the processor in chief is none other than Paul Hicks' sister, Joanne.
I come out when the corn is just this high, and I just start making paths. I do have a map that I work with. If some corn doesn't, come up in one spot, I might move the path over. I got a little John Deere tractor with a blade on it, and that's why there's no sharp angles, everything's circles. And I start around 4th of July.
Luckily, it's a labor of love, because it wasn't always this easy when they planted the first cornfields years ago.
My brother says, "Jojo, we need a corn maze." And I went, well, okay. So I only had a hoe and rake, and I'm out here every morning by 6 before it gets too hot, and I like making things.
Aside from making these trails, Joanne is also responsible for making all of the signs along the way, including the jokes that the maze wanderers pass by in their quest to find everything on the scavenger hunt list. The theme this year was chickens. I think I passed a couple of them in my travels.
My original plan was to stick around until nightfall for the haunted maze, but the scavenger hunt has been plenty of fun, and I'm not sure my heart can take being scared tonight.
For me, I'll use any excuse just to head out to the country. But it was extra special to be joined by so many others who also decided to stop by this cornfield on the Mohawk Trail in the little town of Charlemont.
I like it that it's entertaining people. We get people from all over, and some people never been on a tractor before or even seen a live chicken or things like that, and so we're bringing that to everybody.
When you talk about fall in New England, you can't forget the stunning foliage that adorns our region during the autumn months. Some of the best views can be taken in from October Mountain in the Berkshires, the largest state forest in Massachusetts. In a digital exclusive, join folklorist Joe Derwin and Mass DCR Park Supervisor Alexander Gilman as they explore the colorful history of the private estate turned nature reserve.
Around the 1890s, William C. Whitney, who was the former Secretary of the Navy under Grover Cleveland, began buying up lots across the what is now October Mountain Forest.
He had built a large lodge called the Antlers. There were horse barns, there was a water tower, there were other cottages on the property. It totaled about 10,000 acres.
There were herds of elk and bison, moose and pheasant and quail were brought in, and the lakes were stocked with bass.
It didn't last forever.
You can find this interview as well as extra features, digital-only content, and so much more online right now at nepm.org/connectingpoint. After living through a global pandemic, we can use a little more laughter in our lives, and Happier Valley Comedy is looking to bring the joy back to Western Mass as they expand their operation in Hadley. The organization will now include the space next door to them to be appropriately called the Next Door Lounge, which officially opens on October 30th. I spoke with Happier Valley Comedy President Pamela Victor to hear more about the expansion, the programs Happier Valley offers, and how the organization fosters community through connection and laughter.
So the next door space, the lounge is going to be our box office. So when you come, it will open at 5 o'clock. Our shows start at 7. So if you wanted to come in, get a ticket, and especially order in dinner or bring in dinner, so you can hang out there for a couple hours before the show. We have a game area. You can play some games. We have this lovely living room area where you can hang out on comfy chairs. Then everybody will go next door on a Saturday night see the show, be wildly entertained. And then they're invited to come back next door if they'd like, for more drinks, more fun. And then our after show, our community supported show, which is called More Improv, More Better at 9 p.m., is going to take place at our small cabaret theater in the next door lounge.
Pam, your mission to bring more laughter, joy, and ease to Western Massachusetts has always been what's really driven your business. You will be doing exactly that through the expansion with the Next Door Lounge. Why was now the perfect time for Happier Valley Comedy to grow?
That's hilarious. It wasn't the perfect time. It was a terrible time. But we got the perfect opportunity. I mean, really, I'm in a small arts nonprofit in Western Massachusetts. Nothing has gone perfectly in the last couple years. As we say in improv, you can't choose the scene that you're in, you just play the scene that you're in. And this is the scene we're in. We had this great opportunity to expand next door to take on the former tap room. And we took it because it's been part of our vision. At Happier Valley Comedy, my business partner, Scott Braidman, and I always have wanted to have a space where people can convene. Connection and community are really important core values to us.
You mentioned that this was an experimental decision, and I want to talk about that a little, because for the next 20 months, you will be exploring how to make this new venture a success. And it's not the first time that you have taken this give it a shot approach to a business opportunity. In fact, it's how your career started in comedy. Why do you take this improv approach to new opportunities? And what do you hope comes out of the next 20 months at the Next Door Lounge?
To misuse Ted Lasso, a line from Ted Lasso, improv is life. I'm an improviser in my very core. And I use improvisation to approach my professional and my personal life. And so this is what's happening. We're going to do an experiment. I don't know how it's going to go. We have this opportunity. So I started my company with the Can I Make a Living Doing What I Love experiment. I gave myself 1 year to see if I could make a living through improvisation in Western Massachusetts, which seemed impossible at the time. And then ended up working out pretty well. So this we're calling the experiment next door, because that's what the lounge is called, the Next Door Lounge. And so we're doing the experiment next door. We're giving ourselves 20 months to see if it is financially viable.
Now, Happier Valley Comedy is more than just improv shows. You've been around for a little while in the community, offering a variety of resources and programming. What are the different divisions that Happier Valley has to offer?
So there are 3 main branches to the company. Like you said, as of October 30th, we're going to start back up our shows every single Saturday night. So we have a different improv show every Saturday night. And then another branch is a full multi-level comedy school where we have a full curriculum of improv classes, from I'm terrified and I just want to dip my toe in the water to I'm ready to get me on the stage, coach. I'm ready. And most of our students take improv because they say it's cheaper than therapy. It's just fun. It's community. It's a way for adults to play together. It's a beautiful connection opportunity. We also have a storytelling-based stand-up classes as well. And then the third branch is the professional development and workplace wellness and well-being program, where I'm not teaching improv per se, but I'm using the tenets of improvisation and improv training exercises to facilitate growth in professional development, like communication, collaboration, innovative thinking. And then we have our new branch, which is wellness and well-being. So it's all about building self-care and resilience habits.
I love that, because it's taking improv to another level that I didn't even think it could go. And I know that one of your commitments as an organization is to use improvisation as a tool to amplify a person's voice. Yes. In what ways is improv effective in empowering an individual, and how can it change somebody's life?
So improvisation is fantastic for building community, for building connections between people. But then also improvisation offers this blueprint for life that is so useful. We practice making each other look good. We practice being of service to each other, and we practice using our authentic voices, which I think in business and our personal lives is the most powerful tool that each one of us has.
Are there any current classes or events that are happening that the community can partake in?
Actually, there are. On October 30th in the evening, we have our show, but at 1 p.m., we still have some space open in our workshop. It's a 2-hour workshop called Improv for Scaredy Cats. It's a great way to try out improvisation in a really accepting setting and get some idea of the stuff we're doing. And if you dig it, well, registration is open for our weekly classes. We are now offering 2 Joy and Ease of Improv 1. So that's my weekly Improv 1 class. And then I think there's still space in the stand-up storytelling class too. So either way, you can get a space in there.
That does it for Connecting Point for October 22nd, 2021. Remember, you can always find the stories that you saw tonight, as well as exclusive features, digital-only content, and much more online anytime at nepm.org/connectingpoint. And please be sure to join us again next Friday night at 6 right here on New England Public Media for more stories of the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. I'm Saidalis Bauer. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers.
I volunteered for missions. It was just too exciting.
Beware what you wish for.
That's when the ambush starts.
He was walking on the ridge line, and I fired.
You are never the same.
It's important for people to hear these